डॉक्टर इजाज़ अहमद जो पेशे से कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट हैं और खूबसूरत नात साहब डॉक्टर इजाज़ अहमद।
सल्लल्लाहु अलैका या रसूल अल्लाह वसल्लम अलैका या हबीब अल्लाह। खुला है सभी लिए बाबे रहमत, वहाँ कोई रुतबे में अदना नारी, मुरादों से दामन नहीं कोई खाली, कतार मैं पहले जब मदीने गया था तो थी दिल की हालत तड़प जाने वाली, वो दरबार सचमुच मेरे सामने था, अभी तक तस्वीर था जिसका ख़याली। मैं एक हाथ से दिल संभाले हुए था तो थी दूसरे हाथ रोज़े की जाली, दुआ के लिए हाथ उठे तो कैसे न ये हाथ खाली न वो हाथ खाली। जो पूछा है तुमने कि मैं नजर करने को क्या ले गया था तो तफसील सुन लो, था नातों का एक हाथ, अश्कों के मोती दरूदों का गजरा, सलामों की गाली।
अकेला ही चला था जाने में मंजिल, मगर लोग मिलते गए काफिला बनता गया। ये कहानी है, यूँ कहिए कि बात सही बैठती है जब हम बात करते हैं औलिया काउंसिल ऑफ नॉर्थ अमेरिका की। वो कहते हैं कि जर्नी ऑफ 1,000 miles start from a single step. और ये single step जो लेता है उसको pioneer कहते हैं, उसे founder कहते हैं. हमारे दरमियान बहुत से founders मौजूद हैं और उनमें सबसे बड़ा नाम जिनको मैं बुलाने जा रहा हूँ, जिन्होंने इसकी बुनियाद रखी. इसका कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है मुझे मालूम नहीं था, लेकिन कहीं पे मेरे दिल में, दिमाग में वो बातें थी जिनके साथ मैं एग्री करता था. फिर कुछ ऐसे लोग मिले, जैसे इनको हम फाउंडर कहते हैं, मैं फाइंडर हूँ. और जो हमारे दोस्त जानते थे, उन्होंने जब मुझे तारुफ करवाया तो अब सारी बातें हमारे जो सुनेंगे वही बातें मैंने सुनी. और मैं कहते हैं कि आराम तो इंसान को मिल जाता है, सुकून मुश्किल से मिलता है. और जब इस किस्म के कॉन्सेप्ट सब सुनते हैं, ऐसे लोगों से मिलते हैं, तो सुकून वाली बात होती है. डॉक्टर मेहदी काज़मी, पायनियर, फाउंडर, Aulia Council, नॉर्थ अमेरिका, आपके तारीफ.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Mehdi Kazmi. I'm not the only one who started this trouble. I have colleagues, people on my board who have helped us get to this point. And there's some old friends and some new friends here, and I'm really grateful that all of us are here. This is a small, humble effort which we hope will serve as a bridge for many things in our fragmented society. This will serve as a mighty screw to bring all of us together, and also to evoke the heritage that we have, a very rich heritage from our Aulia. They're probably the reason why all of us are who we are. They gave us our identity, and we started this organization in 2017. This was different by the bombing that happened at the Great Shrine of Lal Shabazz Sarkar in Seven Sharif. And I thought, with my colleagues, that we should do something. There is a tremendous legacy and richness that they've given us, and that brings us to this point. There's lots about our organization. I'll put this video on, a brief video, which will tell you the whole story, and then I'll let you know what we are doing to implement all these ideas.
Man's search for the divine does all the time itself. It crosses barriers of space, culture and traditions to manifest itself in ways that are as varied as the manifestations of the divine. The journey can begin anywhere, wear its way through myriads of terrains, find paths that are as varied as the human spirit, make a home wherever it hears the call. The Aulia, Sufi states of the subcontinent, are travelers on this journey, and they stop along the path in places like Ajmer, Delhi, Pakpatan, Gurdwara Sharif, Kalir, Seven Sharif, and many other abodes and contemplate the divine. However, they did not do this in isolation. They shared their experiences with those who lived with them, common people of every faith, caste, creed, and belief, with the mendicant, with the king, with poets and singers, with intellectuals, and the simple folk. Today, as we find ourselves not in South Asia but in the US, we who seek the face of God, we look for the lessons of the Aulia. We live in turbulent times. Islamophobia has been on the rise. Muslim Americans are faced with the threat of discrimination. The younger generation is unsure of its future as a practicing Muslims in this country. We can just watch as all this unfolds or make an effort to do something about it. This is where the Aulia Council of North America comes in. We heed the words of Raja Chishti when he says, with our spiritual light, dispel the darkness of ignorance, dissolve the clouds of discord and war, and spread goodwill, peace, and harmony among the people. We strive to do the same by using symbols, traditions, and tariqas, colors, song, and metaphors, the shared ancient images of an ultimate environment together as expression of our unified faiths. So we need a space. It would not be enough to act alone. This space is for all of us. Humility is at the heart of our mission. We don't have all the answers, and that's why we need you. We need all of us to do this together, because together we are the shareholders of our children's future and the coil of our daily lives. Sanka is an effort by like-minded people from our souls. Today, there is a strong global movement, an impulse that wants to dissolve the boundaries that religions have put up and end the sectarian violence, at least where we come from and in our immediate environments. This Sanka is a refuge of these ideas. Welcome to Aulia Council of North America. We are grateful to God who blessed with the home of our own, where we celebrate gifts of oneness, love, and peace bestowed to us by God for all of humanity. Through the Quran, we believe the divine messages for all people in all times. The equality of human beings in all aspects of human life is evidenced all over the Quran and acknowledgement of divine messages.
डॉक्टर नाहिदी साहब ने बहुत बड़ा कारनामा अंजाम दिया है। ये जो विपिन बताया है नॉर्थ अमेरिका में ऑलिया काउंसिल ऑफ नॉर्थ अमेरिका बनाकर, जिसके के ज़ेर निगरानी खानकान चिश्तिया फरीदिया हुसैनिया बनाई है आपने, यानी कि स्पिरिचुअल मोनेस्ट्री, क्योंकि बड़े फ़कीर के लोगों को एड्रेस करना और बड़े फ़कीर में इस्लाम तवस्सुल औलिया ताबीर के पहला, इसमें कलीदी रोल हज़रत ख्वाजा मोइनुद्दीन हसन चिश्ती का है। देखिए, बड़े फ़कीर में खानकाहों से ही मस्जिद वजूद में आई और लोगों को कलमा पढ़ाया गया। आज अमेरिका में अगर खानकाही निज़ाम पर, स्पिरिचुअलिटी पे, सूफीज़म पे, इस्लामिक मिस्टिसिज्म पे जोर नहीं दिया और इस्लामी तारीख पर और रसूल और आले रसूल की मोहब्बत दिलों में पेबस नहीं की, तो यहाँ की आने वाली जो नस्ल है, जो जनरेशन है, वो सिर्फ जुम्मे टू जुम्मे नमाज वाली रह जाएगी और आने वाले 2-3 पीढ़ियों बाद उससे भी हाथों बैठेंगी, जैसे लैटिन अमेरिका में हुआ।
The divine light as revealed to us by our Prophet Muhammad defines humans as one of the images of God. He came to us as Rahmatul lil Alameen, mercy for all creation and worlds, not as Rahmatul lil Muslimin, implying his blessings on all of us, with no exception of religion, different belief systems, and ways of worship. Propelled with this idea that was advanced in the Indian subcontinent by Sufia and inspired by the 12th Aulia Council of North America, are steeped in this message and have created a space of inclusiveness, oneness, and inclusion and tolerance for all Muslims. In fact, it is a space for all of God's creation, whether they be Muslims, Jews, Christians, or any other faith. We heed our Prophet and his call of inclusion and celebrating each other's faiths and traditions. In one of these he says, the best of faith is patience and tolerance. In another, he instructs us to be tolerant and receive tolerance. The idea of the Aulia Council of North America emerged from this deep attachment to the message of the Aulia. Dr. Mehdi Kazmi, along with support from some of his friends, created this organization as a first step towards realization of the idea of a place where, as in the dargahs, shrines of the Sufi saints, people from all walks of life, of all beliefs and faiths, would come together in common purpose, a search for the divine. Some of our first events were organized at NYU, in the Agam Working Ettinghouse Library, with help from one of our members, Professor Taira Naqvi, who teaches there. We celebrated more than one course of Wajah Gharib Nawaz, Baba Farid Chakraganj, the 13th Rajab birthday of Imam Ali, Guru Nanak's birthday, held a conference of Wajah Gharib Nawaz, arranged several Mehfil Samad, and organized a Sufi Ghazal program. so we have finally sought to create a space here, a khanqa where a community built on the ideas of the Aulia, derived from their deep understanding of Islamic spirituality, can thrive and continue the search which stirs all of us, regardless of where we come from and who we are. The story of Aulia Council of North America begins in Medina and brings us here to this space in nearby New York by way of the dargahs and khanqahs, Sufi monasteries of the subcontinent. Sufism is the softest path of Islam towards God. A khanqah is a place of spiritual and physical sustenance. It is a practice and institution of tolerance and inclusion where there is a separation of the divine as it reveals itself in the many-colored tapestry of humanity.
And that journey ends up in Fundraiser, Aulia, my mother's village in what is now Rajasthan. And then we find refuge here of all places and mailbag. I didn't know that this place existed, only about a year ago. I found out about this area. इस मौके के ऊपर और खास करके हज़रत अली रज़ी अल्लाह अन्हु उन्होंने नाम के ऊपर असी कर रहे हैं। हम लोगों ने इस टर्म के अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रगल किया आगे से। बहुत सारे टाइम ऐसे थे जब हमें एसडी में हमारे लोगों ने नहीं कर दिया, काफी सारे नए और बताने का मकसद ये है कि चीज जब बढ़ जाती है उसके पीछे स्ट्रगल को बताना।
I'm so happy that my dream has been fulfilled.
That alone is the flag of Islam. अमेरिका का अपना फ्लैग है, पाकिस्तान का अपना फ्लैग है, पाकिस्तान का फ्लैग हम ही लगा सकते हैं, अमेरिका का फ्लैग हम ही लगा सकते हैं। एक्सेप्ट केवल मैसी में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में दुनिया की आवाज़ होती है, लेकिन ये अलग सारी दुनिया में लगा हुआ है।
Khanqa attached to a dargah serves as a conduit for individual solace, for peace, inner peace, and the ability to search for it.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. This is a consoling revelation delivered to our prophet, to my prophet, that comes to that.
In naming this khanqah, Dr. Kazmi has kept the idea of inclusiveness in mind. The khanqah at Chishtiya Faridiyya and Hussaini Sajjadiyya is a khanqah and an albarga, a mosque, a space for kabalis or mahfil-e-zaman, talks, lectures and interfaith dialogue. It will include a food pantry, a library. It will be a place where inclusiveness, tolerance, diversity, and love will be the core. We have already organized an opening, a milad, an al-Nasr ceremony, and several meetings here.
My name is I was blessed with this remembrance of all things. But first, let me give the message that I deliver. Because I've been for 15 years with the Aulia law. And when I went to York last year, I smelled the same fragrance that I smelled with him. But I never smelled that fragrance with my nose. There is another organ that can smell the fragrance of the light of God. That's not the emotional part. It's deeper than the emotional part. The emotional part learns from the world. The heart that smells the fragrance of the element of Allah remembers in Allah the communion of the soul with Allah. When Allah and the souls resonate, I might not be recording sex. And all of humanity resonates with that.
बांदाज़े नबूवत दीन की तबलीग फरमाई, बाज़े दिगर पैगंबर मुस्तफ़ा। वाह, आप दाई इस्लाम के मुबल्लिग हैं, मौलवियों ने तो तफरीक डाली है। आज हमें गैर मुस्लिम मुसलमान मानता है, लेकिन ये मुसलमान आपस में मुसलमान मानने को तैयार नहीं है। और जिन्होंने कलमा पढ़ाया उन्होंने अपने उसमें सलूक से सीरत नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के चल के जो ख्वाजा मोइनुद्दीन चिश्ती ने कलमा पढ़ाया, आज 70 करोड़ मुसलमान बने ज़मीन में इस्लाम के आते वाले ये उन्हीं की देने और लौट के वापस इसी तसव्वुफ की तरफ आ रहे हैं।
We are here, however, to try to revive the true image of the Sufi teachers who knew something about tolerance, inclusion, the value of liberty.
A lot about what we're doing and how we're doing. And I'm sure you're wondering, what do I get out of it? How do I engage with this? And what does this do to the larger vision of getting all of us together on one platform, sharing the legacy that we have from our Aulia and the Dargahs. And I just want to walk you through what our activities are, which will keep all of us engaged. And can you please change this, please? So as you just saw, that the whole idea is to bring together like-minded individuals, and that has already been started. We're now fortunate enough to have our own space, and this is a community space. This is not just for our use. I will go through what else we're doing there. And essentially the idea is to stimulate young minds, people who have been here for many, many years, generations now, who I think will be inspired by the work of our Aulia, and to promote an aspect of plurality. We live in a very divided time. We as Muslims are fragmented, both here and in our own countries. And I think the Sufi path is something that can get everybody together. There is not only tolerance, but there is inclusiveness there. And I think that path, which had actually in the Indian subcontinent served to get many people together from very different parts of the world, is what we need to evoke again, and to help Muslims live in the modern age. The next one. So, the way to engage with people, to build a community, and to evoke our past heritage is to engage in activities that Islam, the spiritual part of Islam, and the practical part of Islam also. The intellectual part we're taking care of by organizing lectures from various scholars. We started to do conferences. We had the first course conference in 2017 for Lal Shahbaz Qalandar Sain, and in 2018 for Khwaja Gharib Nawaz of Ajmer at NYU. We also have Qawwalis. I'm a Qawwali buff. I'm a Chishti. Khwaja Gharib Nawaz कहते थे अगर चिश्ती 3 महीने तक कवाली ना सुने तो वो मर जाता है. हमारा भी यही हाल है. अभी because of COVID, it's been a lull in our Qawwali programs, but we'll be starting again in November, inshallah. Next slide, please. We are affiliated with many dargahs. These are just some of them. I happened to be at 3 of them last week. The last 2 weeks I was in India. I was fortunate enough and blessed to visit Ajmer Sharif, and so timely that suddenly I was able to get a visa, and then this event was happening, and I'm really inspired, and I'm absolutely convinced that with their blessings we can do so many things and be on one platform. The Dargah Aulia in Ajmer Sharif, my nisbat is with Baba Farid Shakargat Sahab, and I go to the courses there every year, and it's now become Qawwali Central in Pakistan, so that's my spiritual home in some ways. We have an academic affiliation with Jamia Hanafiya. All this really without the basis of ilm or knowledge doesn't mean that much. So we're trying to get together scholars from all over the world to create a repository of knowledge, which we desperately need, and which should be shared by everybody, and create a basis of ilm for what we want to do. The Dargah of Khwaja Ghulam Farid Sahab in Port Mittal Sharif, they visit us every year here, and I'm a great fan of Saraiki, Kafis, and we hope to have people come over and sing them for us here. I was at the Dargah of Sayyid Chishti Sarkar in Fatehpur Sikri. I actually lived for 3 days in the room where Sarkar used to live himself. I was again blessed to do that. Of course, the Delhi Dargahs, for example, the Aulia Sarkar, Khwaja Qutb. Next, please. So we have very close affiliations. People come from the Dargahs to visit us. We go and visit them. And in fact, I was planning to organize a tour. Perhaps all of us can get together and go there. We have, as I said, without ilm or without knowledge, this doesn't go forward. Our first effort in that regard is a Masnavi Dars. So in Farsi and in English, Dr. Hussain Kamali, who's at the Hartford Seminary, gives us a lecture on Zoom now, every Saturday. And I'm getting together during this visit to India and from Pakistan. I was able to organize really eminent scholars who will be giving us a whole year-long series, twice a week, of lectures. It'll be live broadcast and it'll be available on YouTube also. Allama Kamran Chishti, who is the premier alim, so to speak, from Ajmer Sharif. We've decided on certain topics. My teacher, Maulana Muhammadin Saab from Jamia Arifia in Allahabad, which is now the most productive, research-wise, the most productive center for Sufi and spiritual studies. Bilal Qutb Saab, he is a well-known anchor. He's with us in this effort too. Allama Shahin Naqvi Saab from Karachi. Professor Carl Ernest, who is a great expert on Chishtis. And as I said, Dr. Hussain Kamali, he has already started teaching us. So this is our facility. As I said, it's for everybody. We have 2 large halls there. There's a old church hall. This is from 1921, and with that, the white building. That is a community center. It's another 3,000 square feet. I welcome everybody to hold their spiritual family events there, and it doesn't. It required a little bit of renovation, but it requires a little bit more work, and that's one of the reasons why we're asking for funds so that we can take this forward. So I'm sure you're wondering, what's in it for me and how do I engage with this? Well, all these educational events that we are planning, and we have a whole calendar of events that will be mounted on our website in about 2 weeks' time. So engaging in these educational activities, connecting our younger generation with Islam, I think that's very important. It's a concern for most of us who are in this country. And community learning, learning about the Nasibo, which I think is the backbone of our spirituality, and starting from basic deen and naqaid. We all talk about Iman and we all talk about Tawheed, but I think we need to get into the depths of it, and we are starting programs that will be young generation friendly and for adults also, and then interactive sessions with scholars. I'm inviting scholars from all over Pakistan, India, North Africa, and we'll have them have interactive sessions with us. This is what we need money for. We need to, we have a mortgage on this facility. We all got together and paid whatever we could, and we need to renovate it for about 50,000. And then we need to, the crux of the matter is not the building that matters, but it's what happens in the building and who the people are. So, for our programming, we need to raise about $50,000, and any help that you can give us in this regard. And of course, I welcome everybody's ideas in what we can do in this space. We have a great opportunity. Our societies, Muslims all over, are really at a very, very critical turning point. The fragmentation has reached an extreme, and I hope and pray that it doesn't go further than that. And we here have a great opportunity to counter that. counter the violence. ये जो है ये लड़के नहीं होता, ये कलम से और ज़बान से होती है ये जंग। और उस हमारे पास जो अपॉर्चुनिटी है वो पाकिस्तान और इंडिया में लोगों के पास नहीं है। तो सारे के सारे ये जगह हैं और सारे के सारे एकेडमिक सेंटर्स हैं, पर्टिकुलरली इन इंडिया और पाकिस्तान, वो हमारी तरफ देख रहे हैं कि हमारे पास अपॉर्चुनिटी है, हमारे पास आज़ादी है यहाँ पे, और उनके पास जो है इतनी रिसोर्सेज नहीं है ताकि ये इल्मी काम को आगे बढ़ा सकें और ये लोगों को जोड़ने का जो काम है इसको कर सकें। इसमें जो भी आप हमारी हेल्प कर सकते हैं, आई विल बी वेरी ग्रेटफुल। थैंक यू।
Can I have the lights on, please? इस चीज़ से कोई डिसएग्री नहीं कर सकता कि अमन, सलामती, फेथ, इंटरफेथ हार्मनी से तो सभी पसंद करते हैं। इत्तेफाक में बरकत है, यूनिटी स्ट्रेंथ। आपने भी स्कूल में सबसे पहला मज़मून जिसमें मोरल ऑफ द स्टोरी ये था ही पढ़ा होगा। डॉक्टर साहब थैंक यू वेरी मच ये इंट्रोड्यूस करने के लिए। मुझे पता नहीं था, और ये सब आपकी बातें सुनकर, ये चीज़ें देख कर, और जैसे 14 तबक रोशन होने वाली बात होती है, मेरा जो हमारे साथ बहुत सारे लोग यहाँ पे ख़ास लोग मौजूद हैं, आप सभी ख़ास हैं। और फाउंडर्स की बात हुई तो मैं जल्दी से कुछ जो काउंटिंग मेंबर्स हैं, फाउंडर्स हैं ऑलिया काउंसिल के, उनके नाम पढ़ देता हूँ। डॉक्टर मेहदी काजमी एंड हिज वाइफ डॉक्टर गलीना बैस, if I'm pronouncing it right, Sajida Khatun, Romita Sherry, and Nasir Ahmed, Sadia Tehel, late, Jasreet Mehta.
My mother is right here.
A round of applause, please. Dr. Mehdi's mother. Welcome. Late Mahmood Jamal, Agha Shaka Jafri, Shamila and Zulfikar Jafri, Dr. Naila Mughal and Dr. Hussain Kazmi, Jacob Salman Kazmi, Ibrahim Nadeem, Tahra Naqvi, Munira Rahim, Raza Rubi, Dr. Asma Sadiq, and late Tasneem Zara. हमारे साथ यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं काउंसिल जनरल ऑफ पाकिस्तान न्यू यॉर्क मिस आयशा अहमद अली, और मिस आयशा अली जो यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं हमें सपोर्ट करने के लिए। तो मैं उनसे गुजारिश करूँगा कि आपके आने का बहुत शुक्रिया। और ये जो कॉज है इसके ऊपर आपके ख्याल क्या हैं, और यहाँ पर आप आई हैं, आपके सपोर्ट की शुक्रिया और अपनी चंद बातों से हमें नवाजा। मिस आयशा
बहुत शुक्रिया आपका, थैंक यू सो मच। आई कैन फील द एक्साइटमेंट इन द रूम। इट्स अ वेरी यूनिक इवेंट। आपको मेरी तरफ से सलाम पेश करती हूँ आप सबको। इट्स वंडरफुल टू मीट विद ऑल ऑफ यू ऑन अ वेरी स्पेशल इवनिंग। बहुत एक यूनिक किस्म का इवेंट है और मेरी इससे बहुत रीसेंट इंट्रोडक्शन हुई है ऑलिया काउंसिल से। वीव हर्ड amazing things about it. I do not have the words to describe what a wonderful thought it is, what a wonderful idea it is, and what a beautiful organization it is. I had the opportunity to have a conversation with Dr. Mehdi Kazmi very recently. और जिस सुक्ति से उन्होंने ऑलरेडी एक प्रेजेंटेशन हमारे सामने पेश की है और अपनी डॉक्यूमेंट्री भी देखी है। सो कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ सूफीज़म एंड द वे he is nurturing it in the US, in New York. It is this concept which makes it so unique and so different. Also very grateful to Zulfi Jafri Sahab, who has flown actually all the way from Atlanta. रहते तो ये Connecticut में हैं, but such is his dedication to the cause that he's here. Tahra Naqvi Sahiba, I saw you in the documentary. I know a bit about your work. Very honored to meet you. डॉक्टर जाज साहब उन्होंने बहुत खूबसूरत नात और तलावत पेश की। So a lot of support from the community and a very beautiful concept of Sufism which runs through the whole fabric of our society. For me personally, growing up in Pakistan, Sufism is about service, it's about community, and it's about humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a diplomat, and while I was on my way to this event, and I was thinking about Aulia Council and the work that you are doing from this council, I just set me thinking that long before the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was written, and long before the human rights were codified, long before we learned about international law and about how to live with each other in peace, the Sufis were still going about in the world and spreading the message of peace. And this was a message about all faiths, about all, it transcended all of those values which had somehow divided the world and which continue to divide the world. And it is all the more important that we give all our attention to the kind of work that people like Dr. Mehdi are doing here, because it's spreading a concept that is very native to people like us who come from South Asia, from India and from Pakistan, but which we have maybe not been able to present in the way in which it deserves to be presented to the world, especially in Pakistan. We've had at various stages in our history, the very young history of our country, there are perceptions in the world about our country which are less than positive. And Sufism is that one thread which gives us that opportunity to present a better version of our world and of our country. And we can go back a long, long way. We can go back centuries. It is not something that started in 1947. It predates that. It goes back centuries. It's about generosity, it's about love, it's about peace, and it's about living in harmony with each other. No matter what your faith, no matter what your religion, we are all, the citizens of this world, and it is our responsibility, more of our responsibility as Muslims to spread this message of peace, because ours is a religion of peace. And while I was watching your documentary, Dr. Saab, I also had the opportunity to serve a great country in New Delhi as a diplomat, and I have been very fortunate that I was able to visit all those dargahs. I've been to Dargah Khwaja, Kareem Nawaz, I went to Fatehpur Sikri, and obviously Nizamuddin Aulia because I was in Delhi. So, Sadia Dehlvi se bhi mulaqat hui, who has now passed, but I was very fortunate to meet her. Raza Rumi, I keep meeting very frequently. So, यहाँ पर हम आज जमा हुए हैं इस काउंसिल के बारे में बात करने के लिए, और जिस तरह से डॉक्टर साहब ने फरमाया कि इनके आइडियाज़ हैं अबाउट होल्डिंग लेक्चर्स कवाली और इस्लाम के बारे में यंग जनरेशन को बताने के लिए, तो मैं डॉक्टर साहब आपको ऑफ़र करना चाहती हूँ द सपोर्ट ऑफ द कॉन्सुलेट जनरल ऑफ पाकिस्तान इन न्यूयॉर्क कि अगर आप कोई लेक्चर्स होल्ड करना चाहते हैं, कोई कवाली का प्रोग्राम है या कोई ऐसी स्पिरिचुअल गैदरिंग जिसमें हम अपना हिस्सा डाल सकें, तो कॉन्सुलेट जनरल ऑफ पाकिस्तान स्टैंड्स विद यू एंड द एंटायर कम्युनिटी. That is where I look forward to doing that now that the pandemic is behind us, and we can, come together and listen to ideals of spiritualism and Sufism. We must do that. और आपने बताया कि आपको रेनोवेशन के सिलसिले में और बाकी प्रोग्राम्स के सिलसिले में भी फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस की ज़रूरत होगी, तो मुझे पता है कि पाकिस्तानी अमेरिकन कम्युनिटी इज़ एक्सट्रीमली generous and they've supported so many causes. Pakistan की support में भी आप हर कदम आगे हैं. So I'm very confident that Aulia Council will also be one of those causes that will be on top of your list when it comes to your contributions. इस वक्त हज़रत मोइनुद्दीन चिश्ती का एक मुझे कोटेशन याद आ रहा है कि you have to be as generous as the river that keeps giving, the river that does not make any distinctions. So अपनी generosity से आप Aulia Council की भी मदद कीजिए. And before I conclude, I also want to briefly draw your attention to the flood-affected people of Pakistan. आप सब जानते हैं, all of those who are of Pakistani heritage and others as well, कि पाकिस्तान में एक बहुत तबाहकुन सैलाब आया है. So my appeal to all of you is to continue to help your Pakistani brothers and sisters who are in great need of your assistance. I'm very grateful to all of you. You have been donating to various charities and NGOs and to the government of Pakistan very generously. एंड आप उनको अपनी दुआओं में भी और अपनी कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस में भी याद रखिएगा, बिकॉज दिस इज़ द वर्स्ट फ्लड दैट पाकिस्तान हैज़ फेस्ड एंड वी विल कंटिन्यू टू नीड योर असिस्टेंस फॉर अ वेरी वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम. I know that we are in for a fantastic evening. The Nasibo Lal Sahib are here amongst us. So I do not want to stand for too long between you and this splendid treat that you are waiting for. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Council General Pakistan, New York, Miss Aisha Ali. Thank you very much. मुझे कुछ अंदाज़ा था लेकिन इतना पता नहीं था कि आप इतना डीपली चीज़ों को समझती हैं, जानती हैं. Thank you very much. जहाँ बात जनरॉसिटी की आती है, ये कॉज ही इतना जनरस है. ये सारी बातें सुनते हुए, सोचते हुए मुझे एक इशफाक अहमद साहब की बात याद आई, जिन्होंने एक किस्सा सुनाया था कि जब वो यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ते थे तो रिक्शे के ज़रिए वो ट्रेन स्टेशन से यूनिवर्सिटी आए और वो कहते हैं कि उस वक्त मैं नौजवान था, गर्म खून, जोश, गुस्सा. तो मैंने वो रिक्शे वाले से जो मेरा पैसे तय हुए थे उसने मुझसे पैसे ज़्यादा मांगे. तो मैं उससे लड़ता रहा कि इतने पैसे तो नहीं बनते. उसने कहा जी इतने 35-40 रुपये थे, इतने ही बनते हैं. मैंने कहा जब मैं नौजवान था, इतनी अकल नहीं थी, तो गुस्से से मैंने जो पैसे थे उसको हाथ में देने के बजाय ज़मीन में फेंक दिया और मैं चल दिया. लेकिन पीछे से उस रिक्शे वाले की आवाज़ ये आई कि दिते चों कितने कि तुम्हें कहीं से मिला है तो तुमने दिया है. तो ये कॉन्सेप्ट हमेशा मेरे जहन में रहता है कि जो पैसे मेरे पास हैं मैं डोनेट करता हूँ, चैरिटी करता हूँ, देते जो ही देता हूँ, जो मुझे खुदा ने दिया है उसमें से ही देता हूँ. इस चीज़ को ध्यान में रखिए, इस चीज़ को गौर कीजिए और ये जो कॉज है इसमें हिस्सा डालिए. आप ये सोचिए कि आज पहला फंड रेजर है, फर्स्ट एवर इवेंट. इंशाल्लाह ऐसे बहुत होंगे और आप हमेशा ये सोचेंगे कि यू आर देयर व्हेन इट हैपेंड फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. कुछ नाम है यहाँ पर, जल्दी से नाम ले लूँगा जो लोग हमारे दरमियान मौजूद हैं. इनमें हमारे पास यहाँ पर आज मौजूद हैं नासिर सलीम साहब जो कि डेप्टी चीफ ऑफ पुलिस हैं NYPD, who served NYPD for 40 years, sir. डॉक्टर शैला बकी, तमगा इम्तियाज, पाक एड से इनका ताल्लुक, बहुत काम किया फ्लड विक्टिम्स के लिए, ये जानी जाती हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा काम है. प्लीज़ राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर हर प्लीज़. इब्राहिम नदीम साहब यहाँ मौजूद हैं, बोर्ड मेंबर हैं, मेजर कंट्रीब्यूटर हैं और मुझे बताया गया है कि रियल बिलीवर. तालियों में कंजूसी ना कीजिए. अदीब राना हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं फ्रॉम NYPD, फर्स्ट कमांडिंग ऑफिसर, 84 प्रीसिंक्ट, ब्रुकलिन. मुस्लिम ऑफिसर सोसाइटी के प्रेसिडेंट भी हैं. सर, वेयर आर यू? देयर ही इज. वो एब्सोल्युटली. और यहाँ पर ये मुझे बताया गया कि इस पर रोशनी जरूर डाली जाए कि हमारे NYPD और हमारे सब लोगों ने पाकिस्तान में जो सब फ्लड आया, जिनके भी आयशा साहब ने भी बात की थी, इन लोगों ने बहुत ज़्यादा काम किया है, बेलौस काम किया है. और ये इनकी जो सोसाइटी है, मुस्लिम ऑफिसर सोसाइटी, जिनके ये प्रेसिडेंट हैं, इन्होंने बेलौस खिदमत की है पाकिस्तानी विक्टिम्स के लिए. चैरिटी की है, डोनेशन इकट्ठी की हैं, ट्रैवल भी किया है और जाके फिजिकली वहाँ पर उनकी मदद भी की है. लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, तालियां तो बनती हैं. अब मैं बुलाने जा रहा हूँ, ये अब मेन इवेंट है जिसके लिए हम इकट्ठे हैं. म्यूजिक उसके बाद होगा, लेकिन उससे पहले प्लीज़ बात की याद रखिए कि दित्ते चो ही दित्ते उसका मकान है. डॉक्टर नवीद इकबाल, अगर आप यहाँ पर तशरीफ ला सकें, कुछ प्लीज़ रोशनी डालिए, कुछ बात कीजिए. और फिर हमारे यहाँ पर जो बिलॉस लोग बैठे हैं, देखिए आप गौर कीजिए, ध्यान रखिए कि इंशाअल्लाह ऐसे बहुत ज़्यादा इवेंट्स होंगे. ये जो काउंसिल है, ये आज का पहला शो है. आप लोग पायनियर्स हैं, आप भी इसके फाउंडर्स हैं, आप इसका हिस्सा हैं. और कभी इंशाअल्लाह सालों साल जो चीज़ें आगे चलेंगी, आपको ये याद होगा कि आई वॉज देयर फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, जैसे मैंने पहले कहा. तो पहला कदम लिया जाता है, फिर 1000 मील की जर्नी होती है. इस पहले कदम में आप हमारे साथ हैं और मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि हमारे साथ रहेंगे. डॉक्टर साहब.
Assalamu alaikum, Tyler. We go back a long time, right? Okay. So, let me just say that there are few occasions in life that a divine movement takes place. And I think many experienced that. He put everything aside and jumped right into this faith. I was nothing less than divine. This was a difficult project. You just jumped into it and you had that faith. Now he's given me a few tests because as my brother and younger brother, he likes to give me tough tests. He also likes to appreciate many people. So he had many people appreciated, but he gave me a long list of people to appreciate again. And I'll do that because what he has done over the last few years, the more we stand with him, the more we stand with him, the more we do for ourselves. So I have not prepared it in terms of, first let me ask you, I'm a loud person. And people were coming to me saying, we can't totally hear. Can you hear me clearly? All the way to the back? Thank you. So he gave me a list of very important people. And I'm going to take them in the order that he sent to me. The first one, I'll spend 30 seconds. And the other names, I'll just narrate them. वो माँ कितनी अजीम होगी जिसका बेटा तुझे. So the first name is Mrs. Sajida Khatun, हमारी ममानी जान, हम सब की माँ. तो सब तालियां बजाएं और मैं आके इनके हाथ का बोसा देना चाहूँगा क्योंकि इन जैसी माँ मैंने शायद अपनी दुनिया में, अपनी जिंदगी में नहीं. She is the first donor, and Mandy thinks that that donor was from the check. No, Mandy, that donor was you. She brought you in this world, and she gave you everything that you have through the blessings of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Now I'll go like a fast train. Mr. Ibrahim Nadeem, also benefactors for life. Mr. Ibrahim Nadeem, Dr. Mehdi Kazmi, Dr. Hussain Kazmi, Sayyid Sarwar Chishti, patron-in-chief. Benefactors in inception, Mrs. Sajida Khatun, my Mamani Jan, our Mamani Jan, Mehdi's mom, Ibrahim Nadeem, board member, Tashfeen Qayyum, Zulfiqar Jafri, Zulfi Jafri, okay, ठीक है. Dr. Mehdi Kazmi, Dr. Asma Sadeh, board member, इन्हें हम असमी कहते थे, अब अस्मा सादिक कहते हैं. ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. रजा रूमी, मुनीरा रहीम, रुमीता शेट्टी एंड नसीर अहमद, सादिया दहलवी, जसीर भट्टाल, शमीला एंड जुल्फ़िकार जाफरी, आगा शौकत जाफरी, the loudest voice in the community. He's not here. If he was here, let's give a hand of applause for Aga Jafri. Aga Shaukat Jafri is the loudest voice I have heard in this universe. And he's my brother, I love him. Susan and Barry Frankfurt, Saif Aga, attorney for Aulia Council, Dr. Rubina, Heptullah, there is Sam Brucha Ranjit supporter, Ghazala Assam, Seema Kechi, Kaleem Kamboj, board member, Zahra Kazmi, Dr. Rashinda Hamidi, Sayyid Kamar Asad, मेरा नाम भी मैंने कहा था ले लेना, वो तो मैं ले चुका हूँ शुरू में. I am Dr. Naveed Iqbal. And one, of course, Taira Hussain Naqvi. Let's give a big hand of applause. She is like an like a sister, a friend, an older sister, a bhabhi, who's that? And of course, I won't be here if not for Rubina Iqbal, my wife. I want to acknowledge my daughter, Zara Iqbal, just using the privilege of the mic being in my hand. Now, when Fidel Castro came to the UN, he said, I promise you I'll speak for 2 minutes. And he went on for 8 hours. I promise you I won't do that for you. There are a couple of things. I think we all heard from the Consul General in a very eloquent way. We heard from Mehdi Kazmi in a very eloquent and descriptive way of the kind of work he's doing. But I still want to say that Islam in the West, and now even in Pakistan, is only being seen in its temporal relationship. So when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ passed away, Islam split into temporal leadership and spiritual leadership. So all the conquests came from temporal leadership. And all the spiritualism that you see in India and Pakistan and all over the world came from the spiritual leadership. I want to also highlight that the Orientalists in the West would love to focus on Islam only from a temporal leadership part. But the bigger part of Islam is in the spiritual leadership. So I wanted to write some notes. I didn't find a paper, so I grabbed one from my grandson. He's about 4 years old. And I wrote some notes as to what I wanted to say. That the spiritual leadership goes back to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ because it was invested together with the temporal leadership, and after that into his Ahlul Bayt. So all Sufi orders connect to Imam Ali, and Naqshbandi order also connects to Imam Ali through the son of Hazrat Abu Bakr that he had adopted. And Naqshbandi order is actually the teacher for Naqshbandi order was my ancestor Imam Taqi Jawad, who's the 10th Imam for the 12 Shias. But Sufism goes much further. It actually takes away the rituals and it takes you to a point which is beyond rituals and which is completely understood. It's inclusive, it includes love, compassion, and it is inclusive of everyone. So one saying from a Sufi saint that I would like to share here is Shah Ast Hussain, Badshah Ast Hussain, Deen Ast Hussain, Deen Pana Ast Hussain, Sardar Nadar Dast Yazid, Abqa ke bina la ilaha Ast Hussain. So Hussein's standing up to a temporal tyrant is for all Muslims. They are not for oneself. So that's the first one. The second one that I think Taira Abba just... I'm sorry? I'm hard of hearing. कुछ ना सुना ना सुनाया लेकिन बोलता चला जाऊंगा तो वैसे I'm really hard of hearing. So the other thing, Taira, I don't know, I call her Taira, I call her Taira Bhabi, I call her Taira Appa. I really remember Zafar Bhai at this time, more than I can tell you. लेकिन एक हमारे बहुत मशहूर शायर हैं, उनका नाम मिर्ज़ा गालिब है, लेकिन बॉलीवुड के बाद उनको मिर्ज़ा गालिब कहने लगे। तो अगर मैं मिर्ज़ा गालिब कहूँ तो समझ जाइएगा कि मिर्ज़ा गालिब की बात कर रहा हूँ। उनका एक सूफियाना शेर है, ना कुछ था तो खुदा था, कुछ ना होता तो खुदा होता, डुबोया कुछ को होने में, ना होता मैं तो क्या होता। तो ये जो ना होता मैं तो क्या होता is what Sufism is all about. Inclusive, love, compassion. It's not about तुम कल जहन्नम में जाओगे, तुम्हारा पांचा ऊपर नहीं है, तुमने जो है वो नमाज नहीं पढ़ी 6 दफ़ा, तरावी पे क्यों नहीं आए थे, No. Those are rituals. You reach yourself to a level where the concept of the Almighty is the same, that when Buddha reached that point, he screamed out and said Nirvana. Those of you know Buddha, he connected with God. Whether he was a prophet or not, I don't know, but he connected with God. And then Imam Ali said that you have a brothership with Muslims because of Islam, but with the whole humanity because of you, because you are a human being. So all that we hear about is hatred, iski namaz nahi padho, iska ye nahi ho sakta, that is it. So now the heavyweight Mehdi has been brought in to cut me short. अच्छा, तो अभी बहुत ज़रूरी है कि सूफियाना कलाम में एक बहुत नुमाया नाम जो मौजूद थी लेकिन अब कुछ अरसे से सूफियाना कलाम में वो है हमारी फेमस आर्टिस्ट, वो यहाँ आ चुकी हैं, आप अनाउंस करेंगे।
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome हम सब की चाहे जाने वाली नसीबो ला।
So, as we have ate good food and as we have enjoyed all the talks, it's time to open our pockets through our heart. I would really encourage you to donate to this cause because this is the sole center in the Northeast that I know, except for Baba Muhyiddin Center in Philadelphia, which talks about all-inclusive, all-compassionate, and the higher level of connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So may the first commitment comes from you. 10,000? Okay, 10,000 from me for the Quran Center. Any other? I'm going to do it only for 5 minutes. And then I'm going to go and start searching your purses. Or pocketbooks as they call it here. So any other commitments, any other pledges? Yes? Do I see a hand? Come on, don't be shy. We donate to mosque, imam bargas, fundraisers for TCF. In fact, the best person who should have done it was Mohammad Naeem. He's in Iran. He will get things out in no time. So any commitments now, because we are now competing with Nasibo and the only thing that is standing between you and Nasibo is your commitment. Close your eyes and see whether you're looking to be part of that unique system of Islam that is all-inclusive rather than how West has presented it. Any commitments? We're not going to send a legal letter to you, but we do need you to please support the cause. Huh? 5,000 from Zara. So from Zara it will be 5,000, 10,000 from Mehdi, 10 from me. Any other colleagues, friends? $1,000 from our brother Dr. Ijaz Ahmed, and he usually is a very generous person, so it's a very generous donation, and he adds a couple of zeros without even thinking. So 1,000 from Ijaz, and I'm going to be walking around for 2 minutes around the tables. Maybe it makes people uncomfortable, but that's how fundraising is done. आप सबके सामने मैं पला बड़ा हूँ, जवान हुआ हूँ, जवान तो नहीं हूँ, बूढ़ा हो गया. Any commitments, I'm not going to point my elders out at all, but please make your commitments. If it's $5, make that commitment. It's not a small amount. If it's $10, make a commitment. It's not a small amount. I'm going to go around and do my due diligence. And this young man, He's my favorite, like a son, Fahad. Any commitments? Fahad, come walk with me. So we do it together. Come on, walk with me. Come on. So any commitments? Any commitments? $5, $10, $20, $100. Asma. TCF की बानी है, लाखों करोड़ों जमा करने वाली, अपना नंबर लिख के मेहंदी को दे दें। दयाल भाई कैसे आप? Okay, gentlemen, I know you are all moved by this almost abrasive approach by me of reaching out. You like my answer? You want to buy it? Huh? Okay, thank you very much. This young couple just gave us a commitment, and may Allah bless you, because this means more than the 10,000 I pledged. Thank you very much. Any other commitments, any other pledges? And you can continue to pledge during the program, because it's a lot to sink in. Because I'm shameless when asking for money. Just like Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, when he was raising funds for Aligarh Muslim University, he said, if I have to put ghungru and dance to raise money, I will do that. If anyone has any ghungrus, I can put them on and dance as long as you're ready to give money. मेरे दूल्हा, एक वर्ड आप बोल दें लोगों को, ये सब आपके फॉलोअर्स। एक जरा नारा लगा के बोल।
You're doing very well.
I'm doing very well. Okay. All right, gentlemen. I don't want to put anyone under the gun because that's the last thing I want to do. But I would really like you to think while you're enjoying the music and as it settles down, that this is the only place in the greater New York area and in the Northeast that is focusing on the higher level of irtiqa and connecting with your God. Your God may be Allah, your God may be Paramatma, your God may be Buddha. But this is the softer image of Islam. You want to promote it, take part in it, participate in it. And after that, there is, मैं ख्याल में खाना ज़्यादा खिला दिया नहीं, खाने से पहले जो है वो सोचते ज़्यादा है। दरापा क्या बंद कर दूँ या चलते रहे? राउंड अप कर दूँ? चलिए। तो we have about 1, 2, 3, 4. We have about close to $30,000 of commitment, and I'll certainly encourage all of you to consider donating to this unique cause. And with that, I'll leave you to our wonderful moderator to start the music. Thank you very much.
बहुत शुक्रिया डॉक्टर साहब। तो एक बार फिर मैं भी यही अपील आप लोगों से करता हूँ कि जो डॉक्टर साहब ने आपसे कहा, जो सब हमारे लोगों ने आपसे कहा, अगर इस वक्त आप प्लेज नहीं करते तो कम से कम उसके बारे में बात में तसल्ली से, सुकून से सोचिएगा ज़रूर। ये यूट्यूब पर इनकी वीडियोज़ हैं तो दोबारा देखिएगा। नसीबो साहब यहाँ पहुँच चुकी हैं, विच उनका मैंने पहले अनाउंस किया है, लेकिन देन आई लर्न कि उनके म्यूजिशियंस थोड़ा सा डिले है। मुझे बताया गया है कि विद इन अ फ्यू मिनट्स दे वुड बी हियर एनी टाइम। तो नसीबो साहब की तारुफ की तो खैर जरूरत नहीं होगी, आप सब लोग जानते हैं म्यूज़िक की शुरुआत पाकिस्तानी फिल्मों से कहाँ पे उनके गाने गाए, और रिसेंटली बहुत ज़्यादा लोग जो शायद अमेरिका में रहे और उसके कहीं पे पाकिस्तानी म्यूज़िक का नहीं सुन पाए, लेटेस्ट एक इनकी जो हिट थी तुझूम, उस गाने को सभी लोग जानते हैं। और ये गाना इस कदर पॉपुलर हुआ कि मेरी वाइफ वहाँ पे बैठी है, माई वाइफ हु इज़ अ नॉन उर्दू स्पीकर, सो जब मैंने told her that who's coming up for the show, she said, oh, I showed her the picture and she said, oh, the woman from Tujum. So that Tujum is that much popular. So she would be here any minute. Until then, we'll listen to some more music. And ये याद रहे कि primary purpose, of course, fundraiser है. बार बार आप मुझे भी देखते रहेंगे, बार बार आप डॉक्टर निविद साहब को भी देखते रहेंगे. ये कॉज है जिसके लिए हम सब यहाँ इकट्ठे हुए हैं. मौसीकी तो ज़ाहिर उस पर तड़का है. देखें दोबारा से मैं भी उनकी बात को आगे चलाता हूँ कि प्लीज़ इस बारे में सोचिए. जो लोग अभी प्लेज नहीं कर सकते, अभी डिसाइड नहीं कर सकते, प्रॉमिस नहीं कर सकते, हमारी वीडियोस, ये वीडियोस आप यूट्यूब में देखिए, बार बार देखिए, डेफिनेटली देखिए, इनकी वेबसाइट विजिट कीजिए, यू विल लर्न मोर. लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Okay, so my Sufi saint said not the amount, just the names. So Sania Saman, thank you very much. Aulia Council Mansoor Anwar Zaidi Saab, thank you very much.
माइक थोड़ा ऊपर कर.
Zahira Hussain Sahiba, thank you very much. Nazia Ali, thank you very much. Yes, I always need help to Zara and we are supposed to have money out of it. There are some pledges that we will actually talk to Kasi. We are only taking the time so that the...
We have like 5 more minutes.
Yeah, we have 5 more minutes to grab more money from them.
माइक पास कर.
Oh, we'll start with
Sure. How many want to pledge 100? Another pledge here. Very good. Thank you very much. Let's go for 100.
Okay, Zara is saying how many people are there who can pledge $100 tonight? That's her wish. $100. You want cash or? Shanaz? Please raise your hands. Harry bhai. Why are you so quiet? Okay. We need a donation. हाँ, Harry bhai से पूछो. अली भाई, अली रही भाई, आप इतने खामोश क्यों हैं? थोड़ी सी डोनेशन, 100, 200, 500. We have come down to 500 now from 10,000.
Okay, we have 2 donations from Ali Bhai.
Okay. So 2 donations from. So pledge card, they're on the table with the pens. So do we have an amount, Hari bhai? What is the amount? 250? 200? जोर से बोले. Okay, and Ali bhai, up? 1? 1 for you and 1 for Shazia? 2? 1? हो गया? ठीक है. Anybody else? Fire committee? Hi. Okay, so $1,000 from fire committee? We got it. आसिफ, मैंने दिए कितने? भाई मैं तो पुश करती हूँ. ठीक है. I got it. From this table? Hi.
आप यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं. थोड़ा सा हल्के से आपके गौर के तलबगार हैं. कुछ मिनट्स की बात सुन लीजिए.
जी.
We have just a few minutes. अपनी घड़ी देख लीजिए, 3 से 4 मिनट, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं.
उनको अंदर बुला ले, आर्टिस्ट को बुला ले. Okay, that's Zara, please come. Taking around.
Anyone for approach?
That's all.
Again, कि सबर का फिर मीठा होता है. Ladies and gentlemen, on your feet, please. We welcome together, round of applause, one and the only Nasibo Love.
आप लोगों को एक कसीदा सुना रही हूँ इमाम हुसैन का. उसके बाद कोशिश करूँगी. थैंक यू. ये बात किसके दिल हंसी Seven